Hello and welcome to this tutorial on 42 data, where I will show you how to create answers using SPARQL queries. SPARQL is the query language of the semantic web, and it is similar to SQL in databases. Given an endpoint, you can formulate a query, so what kind of data you want to have, and it is returned either as table or as graph. In 42 data, in our last tutorial, we had already created a question, and for answering that, I'm starting here with going to discuss. There we have this question on the staff-to-student ratio in universities in different European countries, and this question is also there is also donations enabled, which means if I answer it correctly, or if I provide a good answer, I can get donations up to 100 euro. So, okay, let's take a look at the question. It says the person is particularly interested in a comparison between UK universities and mainland Europe. And let's assume I have created a dataset, or I queried the DBpedia on this ratio for UK universities, and I have the query available. So then I can simply say create an answer. The default answer is always free text without data, but we do not want to have that, but we want to have a more data-rich answer. So here, using that SPARQL symbol, I can change the answer type to SPARQL. And for all answers, I can provide labels. So what I show here is the UK university student to staff ratio. And of course, I can also provide a text here. And the text says that this is a SPARQL query on DBpedia showing the ratio between students and teachers for UK universities. More correctly, it's students and staff. Now I have to provide, of course, the endpoint. That means I have to say yes, we are querying the SPARQL endpoint. And of course, most importantly, we have to have the query here, which is a very large SPARQL query that has been created with our query explorer, or with the linked data query wizard that I will show you at the end. So here you can say, yes, I want to show the full query in the answer itself. So that means when you store the answer, not only the description is displayed, but also the query. And of course, you're not primarily interested in the query, but in the query results. So here you have another checkbox where you can show the query results as a table. And taking that, conducts a live query on DBpedia. And here you have the universities, the number of students, and the number of staff, which you can scroll and which is interactive. It will look like exactly the same when you store the query, which we're doing now. Maybe before, of course, you could add additional resources like another query or another link, but for now we are fine with just one resource that makes the whole of our answer, and we are storing that resource now. So here's the stored answer. You have the label, you have the text, you have the whole query color-coded, and you have here the table, which is also interactive in the answer. So people who are reading that answer can interact with the data. They can, for example, remove columns, they can add columns again, and scroll through this table. You can of course also edit the answer if you're the creator. So here is the edit button, where you have now again the text boxes. So maybe we're no longer interested in showing the query text itself because the answer gets very bloated, but only showing the data. And we would like to have not a table, but a visualization, and therefore we can now switch to Google Charting Wizard, which can be configured like it is shown here. So you have here, for example, one particular type of charts with no label, and I can take this chart now, and this is integrated. So we have a histogram here, how many universities, for example, have below 5,000 staff, 15, and below 5,000 students, that are 32. That's basically a histogram of institutions regarding number of students and number of staff. There are lots of configuration options, but this is not part of this tutorial, but of a separate tutorial. And we can now store basically the data, and you see now here the chart. Again, it's interactive and the full answer to this question. If you are not perfect in SPARQL, we offer also the linked data query wizard to help you creating those SPARQL queries. Therefore, you have to go to Discover, and here you have different endpoints, SPARQL endpoints that are available. You have also data cubes, and you have here the button that you can say, I want to explore open data. And then you're going to the linked data query wizard, which gives you a Google style interface. So one search box and a search button. And now, for example, I can say University of Passau, and yes, we want to query DBpedia. And now the query is submitted to the DBpedia SPARQL endpoint, and takes a while, and then you will be presented with the first 10 results. So all, not documents, but all database records, so to say, all triples that contain University of Passau in a literal. And this serves as some kind of nucleus, a starting point from where you can add more columns, where you can add more rows, where you can set some filters and other things to create a table that looks like the table we have created before. So here the results return. What you have here is a number of columns that are associated with the University of Passau. So for example, you have here the country, you have here the home page. There is also the number of students. You see them here. I add that column, and you somewhere have the number, you have the stuff. So you can add the stuff, and then the table will be filled out. It's a little bit slow, and I'm sorry about it, but we rely on the performance of the SPARQL endpoint. And here on the top you have different options what you can do. You can either visualize the two displayed result, so you can mind map the two displayed results, or you can save the displayed results to 42 data, or you can save the live query to 42 data. So the first option means that you simply save what you see here, that is persistent, so that cannot be changed anymore, and it's more of an archiving function. And this here is that you save the live query, so the SPARQL query to the 42 data portal. You can also go directly to the SPARQL queries. So here, for example, you have for the geeks the option display the SPARQL queries, so that you have the SPARQL query here. You can also see the timing, which is currently very bad, and you can also here for the geeks display the two results as JSON LD, so to have it in another format for reuse. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you also see how it's possible to interact with the semantic web and link data without being a computer scientist. Thank you very much, and hope to hear from you soon.